What's up, everybody? It's Keefy with another edition of the Weekly Ritual Ghost Cults News Show right here on YouTube, Twitch for the first time ever, Instagram and TikTok. Eventually, we'll get all these channels to coalesce. I got a few cameras going on at the same time, so I got my notes in my slideshow here and the cameras here. So thanks for being here with us every week. We have been doing these news shows for 2.5 years. Since the heart of the pandemic, and for the last 6 to 8 weeks, we've been doing them live. So I hope you've enjoyed these. Thanks for being here. Coming up for Blair is here. What is up, Reza Mills? Awesome work on some reviewage this week, my man. And we're here for another live stream, doing them a little earlier tonight. I got a punk show to go to. We'll talk about a little later. So I'm heading out right after this show. I'm very excited to see some more live music. It will be my second show of 2023. Just to give you guys the layout of how this goes, we make some announcements, we run down some features we had here at Ghost Cult this week, we talk about major festival announcements, we run down the tours, that's a big lion's share of it, then we bullet point some of the big stories of the week. We have some fun stuff from our mailbag, and we say farewell. If you're joining us over on YouTube and you want to help us out, this is also a fundraiser. We are still trying to replace our gear that got broken last fall at a festival. We had some camera gear smashed, about $5,000 worth of gear destroyed. Not fun. And Darkroom Photography is, hey, what is up, my brother? We got some people here. Some fun Ghost Cult fam in the chat here. But yeah, anybody who joins us on YouTube or TikTok or wherever that can donate, give us a super chat or a super thanks of $5 or more, I will do a shot of this Metallica whiskey that is definitely not supposed to be for shots. And that's about the size of it. Let us, without further ado, get into the mirth making. I was pre-gaming for this punk show with some White Claw. Born Again Heathen is here. Always good to see you, Pags. I hope to see you in person soon. Anthrax is next week in Oakland, brother. Let me know if you're going. I may go. I'm waiting to find out if I can go. But yes, the Claw is the law. I also have this whiskey. I also have a Liquid Death here. Liquid Death Mountain Spring Water, an affiliate partner of Ghost Cult Mag. So let's, without further ado, let's get into the show. And we'll do this presentation view. And just again, we gave the layout of the show. There are no real big announcements this week, so we'll just get right in to the features at Ghost Cult Magazine this week. We had a handful of interviews. First off, this is an announcement, but also kind of a big deal. We got 500,000 likes on YouTube. We've had a YouTube channel for 8 or 9 years. We really have only worked hard at it the last 3 or 4, where we really put a lot of video content together, constant interviews, this show, all kinds of special reviews and other things, and everything else. So yeah, lots of fun stuff here at the Ghost Cult HQ and happening for our brand. 10 years in the business, 500,000 views. Thank you for being here. Check out our content on the channel. We really appreciate it. Now on to some features we had this week. We are still running through some of our festival coverage from 2022 and a whole gang of interviews we did. We interviewed former TikTok star and now huge recording star, Jerris Johnson. If you're here on TikTok, you might know who Jerris is. He's done a lot of covers, a lot of collabs. He infamously redid Last Resort with Papa Roach a year and a half ago, where they gave him a feature basically because they saw him do a cover, and we caught up with him at Aftershock. He's working on his debut full-length album. He's got a record deal and he has a lot to say. You should check that guy out. Lots of fun. This photo of him is a lot of fun too. If you're watching on YouTube, the best experience for this show is on YouTube or Twitch. This is probably our very first Twitch stream ever of significance. So if you're watching, thanks for being here. Please sub to the channel. It'd be nice to have a following there, similar to our following on YouTube and other places. And maybe eventually we'll make specific content just for Twitch. I would like to. You let me know if you would like me to. Also this week, we interviewed a super cool guy. There's a record label, Broken Clover Records, right here where I am stationed at the Bay Area. And their owner, Mickey Darius, is reshaping the music industry with how he runs his label. He actually pays artists for making and selling their music. Amazing. This chat was awesome. You listen, two guys talking on the internet are not going to fix the problems with the music industry, but he is very forward thinking. He's got some killer artists on his label. In particular, you might know Lori Goldston, who played with Nirvana. She's an infamous cello player, and she was in the Nirvana Unplugged. She's got a solo career that's fantastic. He's got a ton of great and diverse artists. Whatever genre you like, he's got you covered. So also, let's just make sure anybody, again, who is here in the comment stream, drop us some comments, drop us a super chat. I will drink this whiskey, son. All right. Also in the interview front this week, Duncan Evans, who's a writer and a musician in his own right here at Ghost Cult. He's an incredible artist and musician, but he also writes for Ghost Cult, and he interviews bands, and he interviewed Grammy Award-winning producer and acclaimed producer Marc Urselli, who put out an album on Magnetic Eye Records, the great Stoner Doom record label, last year, called Marc Urselli's SteppenDoom. So imagine like doom metal and High Lung having a baby and making an album. That's what this sounds like, and including members of High Lung and members of High on Fire, The Obsessed, and other bands. Incredible stuff. So Duncan interviewed Marc. That was really great. This show will be a podcast at some point later this weekend after the video stops processing on YouTube, and we could share it. Also some of our other, we have some exclusive interviews that just go to podcasts, so wherever you stream podcasts, check it out. Give us a review. Let us know what you think of our podcast. Our most recent interview beside Marc Urselli was Catatonia about their new album, so that's pretty killer. Also, I am also the co-host of the Glacially Musical podcast, like pour beer, metal, swearing, vinyl, hockey fights, all kinds of shite. I'm the co-host. The host is Nik Cameron of the Glacially Musical podcast and blog, and we finish our series on Exodus this week with Impact is Imminent. If you like some thrash metal, you want to check out this series we did on Exodus. The Ed and Fuzz Show is here on Instagram. What's up, Ed and Fuzz Show? Also, kind of affiliated with Ghost Cult is the Heavy Business podcast. If you have a band, if you have a DIY label, if you're just trying to make it in the music industry and get free advice from some of the best sources possible, check out the Heavy Business podcast from C Squared Marketing and PR. They are friends to Ghost Cult, and we share their stuff a lot, so check them out. So those are the features, and I think we're going to move to the news rundown. But before we do that, let's shout out to our affiliate partner, Liquid Death. Liquid Death Mountain Spring Water in a can. I'm going to open this one and drink it because fuck yeah. This is the Mango Chainsaw. Used to be 2 flavors. Now they have just sparkling and plain old water in recyclable cans. Now they have some flavors: Bury It Alive, Mango Chainsaw, and Severed Lime. In case you're new here, thanks for being here and watching. How about we share this awesome promo we cut of Liquid Death? We cut a promo for them. We have an affiliate partnership with them. If you buy Liquid Death anyway, buy your Liquid Death and then get like free cool stuff from Liquid Death and Ghost Cult. So check this out. Let's plus this up in the video here. Watch this. I'm going to take the Chiron off, and you can watch the video unencumbered if you're on YouTube or Twitch.
100% mountain water from the Austrian Alps. 16.9 ounce tall boy. Liquid Death comes in 2 flavors: mountain spring water and sparkling water. Entirely from 100% aluminum cans.
Shout out to my boy Scott Summer on the 1s and 2s and the vocals. Shout out to our producer extraordinaire Omar Cordy for that Liquid Death promo. Also, shout out to Meth Syndicate. I'm wearing my awesome, fun Meth Syndicate Type 2 Diabetes. Big old bowl of oatmeal. Wilford Brimley, rest in power. And I got my diabetes shirt on from Meth Syndicate, at Meth Syndicate on Instagram and elsewhere. Back to the presentation. Let's do this, and let's talk about the news. And let's go rapid fire through this news stuff. Major festival news. Hammerfest is a festival, a little belchy now. Hammerfest is a festival in the UK. We've covered it many times. And, you know, I don't go out of my way. We, you know, unlike some of our other websites in the metal and rock world, we don't love clickbait and we don't go out of our way to, you know, dog people. You know, it's not a thing for us. So when I say that they're having struggles as a festival, understand me. We do. Our co-owner is Black. Thank you for Happy Black History Month, Tiara Baby. And we support a lot of artists from all walks of life and all genders, and everyone is welcome. We are an inclusive site. We have a diverse staff of writers from across the world, and the co-owner of this company is an African-American person. So yes, we are always down with Black History Month, and you know, we're not down with fascist colonizers or anybody else. That sucks. So anywho, Hammerfest, as I was saying, they have lost 31 bands in the last 3 days leading up to the festival. I don't know why a lot of artists took to social media to complain about this and say like there was some shady things going on, and it's a pickle. It seems like they're still going to happen. They're headlined by Unleashed. Evil is still playing. Holocaust is still playing. Some very fine British metal bands, but you know, very concerning when a whole bunch of bands start complaining, saying they were ripped off and quitting the festival within days before. So we'll bring you more news on that as it develops. I hope there's a good reason for anything and all of this. And, you know, again, we're not here to punch down. We're trying to punch up. But if you're a fan and we cover metal festivals and we go to metal festivals, and if you're going to Hammerfest, you should know a lot of the bands you were probably going to see are now not going to play. Moving right along, this is the funny Hammerfest fans started to make their own Hammerfest banners with the bands crossed out that dropped off, in case you wanted to see who is now no longer participating. And I see my space scroll here. Hold on one second. All right. We'll just leave that running in the background. Moving right along here. Heartsupport Fest is coming up. Scooter 0075 is here. What's up? Heartsupport Fest taking place in Florida next weekend is headlined by Parkway Drive, Under Oath, Dance Gavin Dance, Rise Against, The Ghost Inside, Spirit Box, Silverstein, Hawthorne Heights, 4 Years Strong, so many killer bands, Devil Wears Prada. Of course, this is Heartsupport is the foundation led by Jake Lurs of August Burns Red. We have an exclusive interview coming up with Jake. They have a new album on the way, August Burns Red, but we have an interview with Jake specifically to talk about Heartsupport, the foundation, and the festival. So stay tuned to that for next week. Also, if you're into indie rock and some more interesting types of underground music, the new Colossus Festival just got announced in New York City for March. We're huge fans. We've attended it in the past. And I'm big supporters of these guys. It's kind of like the grandchild, New Colossus Fest, like the grandchild of the old CMJ festivals, if you like indie rock and alternative rock. So check that out. I've always had a good time there. And I like discovering new bands. I go to festivals that aren't my favorite types of bands, and I learn about new music that way. So that's what I like to do. As much as I adore heavy music, I have all my life, I can't just listen to it nonstop. I like other stuff. So just, you know, you're going to see that's evidence in what we do here at Ghost Cult. We're known for rock and metal, but we cover all kinds of stuff. There's new Colossus Fest again. Extra slide. Here we go. Heavy Psych Sounds already having 2 festivals in California in March. 2 festivals in Italy have now announced Heavy Psych Sounds Switzerland. Truck Fighters, band we love, we've interviewed before, Acid Mammoth, El Perro, 1782, Geobia, Dead Smoke, Orion, and many more to be announced. That's coming up at the end of May. They don't really have a Memorial Day weekend in the summer in Europe, but Switzerland in the end of May. Amazing. Also, all the Desertfest started getting announced. So Desertfest Berlin dropped their full lineup: Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, Mantar, Crowbar, Mono, Corrosion and Conformity, The Obsessed, Monolord, King Buffalo, Dozer, Church of Misery, Bongzilla, LA Witch, Blood Ceremony. So many cool bands. But also, The other Desert Fests have announced their lineup, and I have those here. Desertfest London also has Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, Graveyard, Corrosion of Conformity, Boris, Cadaver, Crowbar, Church of Misery again, Weed Eater, King Buffalo again, so Discharge, holy shit, Somali Yacht Club, Unsane, killer band. We're going to talk about Unsane in a few minutes. Desertfest, New York City announced their first bands for this fall. First bands, not all their bands, first bands. And Melvin's, Boris, Color Haze, Truck Fighters, Coming to America. Yes, 1,000 Mods, White Hills, Lopan, Duel, Rip, the Thrashers from Portland, who I love, Ecstatic Vision, Heavy Temple, the Homies, Clouds Taste Satanic, another killer band, Mixed Jaguar, Castle Rat, Grave Bather, Spellbook, and many more to come. So if you like the stoner rock, the psychedelic rock, the stoner doom, Desertfest is one of your festivals you will need to get at. We'll get to. Damnation Festival announced their first bands. Amun-Ra, the return of an Al Nakroth. They were broken up. They had played one last final show in December in the UK, and now they decided they're going to stay together for occasional live shows. So very cool. Just checking over again. Join us on Twitch, on YouTube, drop comments, etc., etc. But yeah, Damnation Festival, Amun-Ra, Al Nakroth, Ahab with a brand new album out, Downfall of Gaia, Final Command, Harriot, incredible band, and so many more, and more to come. And of course, the Damnation Festival is a one-dayer, an all-dayer, as they say. Death Groups are coming on tour. I saw that, Death Groups. We don't have every single tour covered in this short show, but I did, there's always more, you're always going to miss something invariably, but thank you, Scooter. We appreciate you. We like that. We've covered Death Grips. We've covered them. Damnation Festival also comes with a pre-show, the Night of Salvation, and then Damnation. I like it. So they're going to announce the bands, but Cult Never Dies and Church Road, the very excellent people at Church Road Records, are the sponsors of a Night of Salvation. Very cool shit. At BEC Arena in Manchester, the new home of Damnation the last year or so. Moving along, Roadburn has announced their full final lineup for Roadburn 2023. Very exciting stuff. So many killer bands. Wolves in the Throne Room, Boy Harsher, Chat Pile, Cave In, just Ethan McCartney and Primitive Man, and Ethan's solo projects and things like that. Just such a killer lineup. I have attended Roadburn. We have covered Roadburn from the very beginning. Ghost Cult was founded to cover festivals like Roadburn. And then I came in, and I've been lucky enough to go visit the Netherlands and go to Roadburn and cover it myself, and it was incredible. My favorite festival experience of all time, bar none. Just so you know. Now on to the regular shows. Let's throw up the little banner here. Tour dates. Bane. This is probably one of the biggest stories of the week. The hardcore band Bane is back. They have announced a reunion show. It immediately sold out at Roadrunner in the Roadrunner Club in Boston, and they had to add a second night. So Bane is going to have 2 comeback shows. They seem to say they're retired. They're not retired. They're back. Music Guru Magazine is here. Papa Smalls is here. Yo, Papa Smalls, I'm over on Twitch for the first time ever. Come check it out, bro. At Ghost Cult Mag. Papa Smalls is a photographer and a writer for Ghost Cult, and he's a homie. Love to you, brother. So Bane announced their show. I wonder if Papa Smalls is going to want to cover Bane in June with The Suicide File, Stick to Your Guns, Modern Life is War, Brace War, and so many more at Roadrunner. Melvin's never not on tour. Melvin's every year a new album, every year multiple year-long tours. They have formally announced their 40th anniversary tour. They're already going to be part of an awesome tour with Faith No More and Spotlights. Melvin's all day. I think I'm probably going to get another interview with Melvin soon to just talk about 40 years of Melvin's. But I did interview Dale Crover about a year and a half ago for the Walking with God album, or Walk with God. And we talked then about some historical Melvin stuff. I'm a humongous fan. I don't know if you could tell. Unsane is on tour right now on the West Coast and down south to Texas. One of the most brutal, cool bands ever. Check out the video on YouTube for Scrape. If you like seeing gnarly skateboard accidents, that is the video of all videos, the one that started it all. I'm a big fan of Unsane. They have some side projects I've done some interviews with them for. I might try to come out to the California shows. It's this week coming up. We'll see. I got a lot going on. Also, Pierce the Veil's new album is out tomorrow, The Jaws of Life. They announced the Jaws of Life UK and European tour. Just so you know, we don't just do US tour dates. We do the whole world. Just mentioning. I don't know if you know this. This is a little sidebar for a second that's I hadn't planned to talk about, but let's talk about it really quick. For a long time, visas have been a problem in Europe, just in general. There was a security hack in 2018 of the Justice Department and the U.S. visa system that impacted bands trying to come to the U.S. to tour. Then Brexit happened, if you know what that is, between the United Kingdom splitting from the rest of Europe and having their own currency and all these things created even more expenses for bands to either come over and tour from the US to Europe or European bands just to go between countries. Now the US is considering its working visa system, revamping it and raising prices perhaps 300%. I understand that it is a crazy time in the world and shit is mad expensive, but 300% is bullshit. If you love bands, make sure I know people are like, oh, hey, Blackwater Rising is here. What's up? What's up? Good music video this week we put out by those guys on the site. It's hard enough for bands to tour. It's expensive enough as it is. We can't have our governments getting in the way and making it worse. So please, I know politics can be bullshit, but maybe write your congressperson or your senator person and make sure they don't pass these bills that make touring impossible for working class musicians. I'm sorry. Not cool. Moving right along. The Solace North American tour from Resin. Resin is a cool doom metal band from Chicago. I just saw them last fall with Russian Circles. Sometimes I go to shows just to enjoy the show and I'm not working. And I went to see Russian Circles, one of my favorite bands, and I just feel like I just need to zone out and enjoy a show sometimes and not focus on interviewing the band and taking notes and all that shit. So Resin has booked a huge US tour. Go check those guys out if you love incredible psychedelic stoner doom. I Hate God. Take is Needed for Pain 30th anniversary tour in 2023. They just announced this today as we went to shoot this video. Goat Whore is going to provide direct support. Maybe they're going to add some more bands. I don't know. I'd be just fine with I Hate God and Goat Whore alone. I'd be so happy. So yeah, check that shit out. Yes, it is Brandon Winstead 89. If you're still on TikTok watching this is in fact a Wilford Brimley typo diabetes shirt. And yes, it is from Meth Syndicate. Check them out. Headbangers with a Z is here. What's up, Headbangers? We're plowing through this shit. We're plowing through. Missing a slide, but Whitechapel booked a huge headline tour. They're going to play The Valley in full. That was their very acclaimed record from a year and a half ago. And they have direct support from Archspire and Entheos and others. So, support Whitechapel. That album's awesome. It's out now on Metal Blade Records. Probably one of the best Whitechapel records in general. I know their early shit is the shit that death metal fans really love, Somatic Defilement EP. But check out The Valley. I think it's quite good. Some other tours, the Flatliners. Speaking of the show I'm going to right after this show, Flatliners, punk rock 20th anniversary show with Broadway Calls. We just put out their new video. We dropped their video. And Western Addiction. I'm heading out to that show right there on the slideshow and YouTube. I'm going to Bottom of the Hill, one of my favorite places in San Francisco. I'm going to rock out with some punks. I'm going to be the old guy in the corner, the metal guy in the corner, but I love some punk rock and I love some pop punk. You can't go wrong. Laura Jane Grace, one of my absolute heroes, has booked a huge tour of the U.S. Some of her dates will be opening for Frank Turner and the Interrupters. Her headline dates will have Weekend Friends supporting her. She is still supporting her exceptional EP from about a year and a half ago during the pandemic. One of the best, or a year ago. DRI is never not touring, Scooter. DRI is always on tour. Always on tour. Always on tour. I love Typo Negative, by the way. It's another reason I'm repping. This is, to me, just another Typo Negative shirt in my own brain. DRI is great. I would love to go see them. I think they're coming my way very soon. They were based in San Francisco for a long time. I think Kurt is originally from here or moved here. Moving right along. Keep this rolling. Duran Duran. I'm just going to throw it out there. Duran Duran, Nile, and Chic and Bastille, who we reviewed their recent rock album, Duran Duran, Hall of Famers. Andy Taylor is out of the band now, basically because he has stomach cancer, pretty bad. But Duran Duran, see your heroes. See all the legendary acts now before they're gone, because we are fast approaching a time when the bands we have, Ozzy just retired, Judas Priest might have a few more years, Maiden seems to be going strong, but Metallica might have a few more years in them. I would like to see them get to 50. They just made 40. I don't know about 50, but you want to see them up there playing Master of Puppets at 70 years old? I don't know. But go see these bands. Go see your bands. Also, Ministry, Gary Newman, and Frontline Assembly have announced the tour. I just did an interview with Frontline Assembly that is coming soon. They could not announce the tour at that time, but we talked about their whole career. And I'm a huge Gary Newman and Ministry fan as well. So stay tuned. We'll be covering that tour for sure. Confirmed. Also, Static X, Dope, Fear Factory, Mushroom Head, Twisted, and Society 1 are kicking off the Rise of the Machine North American tour. In just a few weeks, we're going to find out who the new Fear Factory singer is. Hello, everybody joining. We're going to get probably a new Fear Factory song or a cover of a classic song. Static X just announced Project Regeneration 2 coming later this year. They dropped a cover of Nine Inch Nails' Terrible Lie to celebrate. I am stoked for this tour, and I think the first date of the tour is here in San Francisco. I'm going to go. Disturbed is going to their whole way across the U.S. on their big Take Back Your Life tour. I think that's, aimed at the pandemic and masks and things. But Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin, Theory of a Dead Man, and Ginger opening. I would take Ginger over all those bands. But anyway, that tour is happening. It's a tour. We'll be covering it. I guess Disturbed's recent album is out now as well, from late last year. On to the regular news. The news rundown. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. So, Linkin Park, as I record this, is dropping a brand new song. It is the 20th anniversary of their Meteora album, one of their best albums. And they have a brand new song called Lost that you can stream in a few hours as you watch this, or within a little bit of time. You'll be able to watch the video. We'll link it in the description on YouTube and everywhere else. I believe they're going to, Claustrophobia is here. I believe they're going to announce a whole Meteora anniversary package. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited. Miss Chester, 6 years gone. I don't really think the band is coming back. I have been asked my opinion about this many times, and I just don't think they're coming back. It's just a thing. The Grammy Awards. Let's talk about this BS for a couple of minutes. The Grammy Awards, award show. We talked about the Hall of Fame last week. The Grammy Awards were this week, and Ozzy won 2 Grammys. Listen, it's his first win, his first multiple win ever, his first win in 30 years since the No More Tears album in 1991, 92. And he won for Best Rock Album and Best Metal Performance. And he said, look, I'm a lucky MFer. I feel so fortunate to win awards at this point in my career. I'm really happy for Ozzy. Just had this terrible news that he can't tour anymore. It broke his own heart. But good for him. And just so people know, things like the Grammy Awards and the Hall of Fame are voted well in advance. So like Ozzy's recent announcement, the death of Jeff Beck, none of these had any bearing. He was voted on, this is months ago. But also the Grammys always confuse the shit out of me because I love Brandi Carlile, who is not metal, and she's certainly not rock. She won the Best Rock Song Award, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I love her. I've seen her in concert. She's incredible. She won the Best Americana Grammy. She wrote her memoirs last year. She had a record out. I saw her on tour twice. She's got a super group of awesome sort of country folk women singers. Incredible. The Highwomen. But she's not a rock artist. You don't have to give her every freaking award. I don't understand this shit. But anyway, the Grammys, people like to bitch about it. What are you going to do? Limp Bizkit has a new video out for Out of Style. I fucking hate Vladimir Putin, but Limp Bizkit did this awesome deep fake music video where the band is in a garage playing, but their faces are all superimposed with, unfortunately, Vladimir Putin, Zelensky from Ukraine, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping from China. I think King Charles on the bass or the guitar instead of Wes Borland. I'm not sure why. King Charles has much less power. Apologies to my British friends. King Charles has much less power or importance than any of those other people. But anyway, Sad that Biden didn't even rate to get in the fucking video. That's kind of sad. But all right, I understand. He's Sleepy Joe. He's not going to look good popping up and down. And Tom Cruise on the grill, son, with the inflammatory Woodstock apron, calling out, trolling people mad at him for Woodstock, including me. Come check out. I have a video here on the channel where I talked about being at Woodstock 99 and how Fred and the Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of caused some bullshit. Anyway, new Limp Bizkit video. They're working on a new album. I was hoping it was a new song, but they got a new album they're working on. Music video. European tour kicking off soon. Headline festivals. Limp Bizkit still a big deal, whether you love them or hate them. Megadeth is in trouble. Megadeth is being sued by Brent Elliott White, the cover artist of The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, their latest album, their award-winning album, their Grammy-nominated album. Ozzy beat out Megadeth, Ghost, Buse, Turnstile, all to win those Grammys, by the way. Megadeth is being sued because that artist was never paid for the album. Now, this really has very little to do with Megadeth personally. This has to do with their management and the record label team, which had some turnover during the making of this album. And so that's why that guy didn't get paid. It has turned kind of ugly. Again, we're not here. We love Megadeth. We're not here to disparage them. We love the Megadeth album. We have an awesome interview, a very long, wide-ranging interview with my colleague, Omar Cordy, who interviewed Dirk Verburen. I'll link that here. But Megadeth, man, you know, unfortunately, artists got to get paid for their art. And it's unfortunate when the label and business get involved. Metallica, because we got to have Metallica news every week, because you guys can't get enough Metallica news. Metallica raised $3 million from their All Within My Hands concert in December in Los Angeles, their unplugged charity concert that they have every year. Unplugged, half-plugged, semi-plugged. $3 million in charity from that, double the amount they've ever raised before from one of those concerts. So that's amazing. And then they have raised just $1 million alone with the Blacklist covers album, which I did not like and did not feel was necessary when the Black Album remastered edition came out. But that also raised $1 million for charity. So badass. Good on Metallica. Lots of Metallica stuff coming up soon. New album coming soon. Probably another new single any day now. New video. All that jazz. Veil of Maya has a brand new song, Godhead, a new single, a new video, and it slaps. I would play some of it for you, but I don't want to get demonetized. Veil of Maya, killer new song. Excited for their new album. Great band. A band that I have always, I think they're a little bit better live than I have been on record. So this new song grabbed me, though. Grabbed me by the throat. I loved it. I should do a reaction video to it. I don't know. We don't have a lot of time right now to edit these videos, but like I should kind of do maybe I'll do a live stream reaction to it, and we'll see if I get demonetized or not. Who knows? Arch Enemy dropped a brand new video and single today, Poison Arrow, from their current album, Deceivers. Not really a new single, but a new video. Arch Enemy's got a huge tour of the world coming up. Deceivers album cycle still going strong. Drop a comment and tell me. Everybody's always, are you still a fan of Arch Enemy? I'm still a fan of Arch Enemy. I listen to Michael Amott play Happy Birthday or BINGO or whatever the fuck on top of Old Smokey, whatever the first guitar songs you ever learned. I'd listen to that guy play anything. But Arch Enemy's still a killer band. Angela's been retired a long time. People still talk about Johan like they cared about that Book of Black Earth album. Like, nobody cared back in the 90s, really. Nobody cared about them until they got Angela. I know people, that's a controversial take for me, but I'm all about hot takes sometimes. I'm all about them. And let's see. Los Angeles, if you're in the Los Angeles area, Irvine Meadows in the Orange County area was supposed to get a new amphitheater years ago. And I want to just send a shout out. They're trying to get the city council to finally allow. They have plans. They have this rendering. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, they're trying to get a new amphitheater people have had like some of the best concerts ever were there. Tony Joe is here. I met that guy at Psycho Las Vegas. What's up, Tony? I hope you're well. Your wife. Shout out, man. I love hanging out with you and watching King Diamond. That was some of my most fun shit ever. I love to meet real fans wherever we go in the world. Anybody that's anywhere in the world, festival, show, gathering, bar. If you meet one of the Ghost Cult crew, you're always going to meet some of the best, coolest people in the world. And I'm not just saying that because of me. I'm saying that's other people too. But yeah, Irvine Meadows, man, they need a new amphitheater to have concerts come there. Major concerts used to come through there. So shout out to the people in that area that are trying to organize and get that amphitheater built finally. Couple of last things here in the news. Jeremy Wagner of Broken Hope. Broken Hope's going to be playing Maryland Deathfest next year. But Jeremy Wagner, in addition to being an incredible published author, is a huge horror movie fan. And he's got a whole bunch of Jaws collectibles. And he helped unveil, along with Charlie Benante, a Jaws statue. Not of the shark, but of Quint, man. And so, yeah, that's really cool. There was like an auction and an unveiling. We've got the whole scoop at ghostcultmag.com. I will link it in the description. Also, if you're a punk rock fan, I was talking about some punk shit earlier. I'm going to a punk show right after this. I'm going to throw my pants on and go to the punk show because that's what I do. There's a punk movie, a punk feature film with the soundtrack by Tim Armstrong, L7, Black Flag, The Wipers, Channel 3, Unseen, Willie Elliott, Wiltmore, and more. And the debut is happening at the Roxy Theater, not too far from my house in San Francisco. And the director's going to be there. I was tweeting at him earlier today. It's produced by Kevin Smith from Clerks. So, you know, I know Kevin Smith's a big music fan. He loves his rock and alternative rock and indie rock and even metal. Yeah, man, Smalls, take care, brother. Love you. Night to your little one. Future of metal, the future metalers of the world. Sex Pistols, speaking of punk rock, have gotten a Super7. It's all about San Francisco this edition. I should just call this the San Francisco edition. A lot of stuff going on here in the area. Sex Pistols have Super7 ReAction Figures. Super7, one of my favorite companies ever, also based here in the Bay Area. They also have a headquarters store here in San Francisco and in San Diego where Comic-Con is. I think the original Sex Pistols, especially Sid Vicious, would have been like, fuck a toy of this. But Johnny Rotten is a shameless self-promoter, and he probably would love it. I'm not a big fan, but whatever. Cool that they have these toys. And I think finally in the news, why I have a picture of an eggplant. Because Tommy Lee can't keep his schlong or his nutsack off the internet. I can't show it to you. It might still be on Instagram and Twitter. I thought he was doing an OnlyFans. He keeps, like, showing Instagrams of his nuts and his piece. I don't know why, but I put up an eggplant. I thought it was funny. Tommy Lee, nobody wants to see your business anymore, bro. You're married. You are 60-something years old. You have grown children in their 20s. Keep your shit in your pants and play drums and be in Motley Crue. That's what people want from you. This is a public service announcement on behalf of all of humanity. Tommy Lee, stop. Stop. All right. And I think we're wrapping up the news here. Let's just talk about the mailbag. The mailbag is the next thing. What is this in the mailbag I have this week? The mailbag segment at the Weekly Ritual Rock and Metal News Show is when I share some shit I've been enjoying. This week, it is Jawbreaker's incredible 1992 second album, Bivouac. It's a bunny with some boobs on it. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't demonetize me. There's Jawbreaker is playing that show opening for AFI in LA next month. They're already committed to doing Sonic Temple in Columbus. I'm hoping they're going to announce a huge tour. Wizard Tattoo Band is here. I'm seriously hoping that Jawbreaker announces a big headline tour. They did the Dear You tour last year. I saw them 3 times in a row. It was incredible. I got an autographed repressed copy of Dear You. Jawbreaker is a band I saw in the clubs in New York City in the early 90s before they were even that big. Great punk rock band. And I think that's it for the show. Thanks for being here. Sadly, did not get any super chats or donations for our fundraiser. So this whiskey goes undrank for now. All the best. I probably don't need to be drinking shots of whiskey before I go to the club show. But, thanks for being here every week. Thanks for being here. As we say all the time at this juncture of the show, it is a tough time in the world. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be as metal as humanly possible, and especially to your friends. Peace, y'all. See you next week.